Of course the phone rings now. What's up? Welcome to Moto Medic. And today, I'm gonna put a clutch in this 2005 Suzuki GSXR 600. It's pretty much gonna be the same across the board no matter what kind of clutch that you're putting in your bike. For the most part, there's some slight differences here and there, but for the most part on Japanese motorcycles, you take a cover off, there's a clutch pack, you take that apart, you put that together, you put the thing back on, you put a gasket in there, you're done. There are some basic things, no matter what you're doing and what clutch and what bike you're putting in, that are gonna be the same across the board. One of the things I do like about Suzuki is the availability of how they actually package their parts. If you wanna do an oil change on your Suzuki, you could go buy an oil change kit. And they've got a filter and a crush washer and all the oil in there that's Suzuki stuff, and it's branded and it's boxed and it's like picking up a six-pack at the store. I know what I need, that's what I need, I'm taking it home and I'm gonna do it. And that's basically what I've got here is a Suzuki clutch rebuild kit for a 2005-2006 Suzuki GSXR 600. How crazy, how cool is that? It's basically cut and dry, it's pretty by the book, and right now we're gonna get into it, so follow along. So if you're doing your Suzuki, perfect time to follow along. This is the video for you. Here we go. This kit has everything, literally everything in it that we're gonna need for the clutch rebuild of this bike. We got an assortment of goodies. One of the first things you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna drain the oil out of the bike. I've already drained the oil out of this bike and I've already got a brand new filter on this bike ready to go. I was doing some other stuff to this bike and I do have 1 quart of oil in it. It's not really going to be a big deal, so we're going to still pull off the clutch cover. All right, and what I got here now is all of my parts laid out, and if you'll notice, some of the pressure plates and friction plates are laid out in different piles. You've got 2 different steel friction plates here, or sorry, pressure plates here, or driven plates as they were. I think that's what they call them in the manual. The one on the right is a little bit different thickness than all of the ones on the left, and that is on purpose. And the same thing goes for these guys here. They're 7 of your main friction plates, and then you've got 2 different ones that are in different spots in the stack. So just beware of what you're doing, and like all good mechanics, we are over here following the book. So make sure you're following the manual, and you shouldn't have a bad time. Silicone's, I don't know, actually, that's a gasket. This has never been off, that's cool. Well, that's good, looks good, all right. Everything looks good in here, actually. If you are trying to determine whether or not your clutch needs to be replaced or not, the easiest way to tell is to get out on the road and get into like 5th gear as quickly as you can, 30, 40, maybe 50 miles an hour. Lower RPM, and then just whack the throttle open in your highest gear, 5th and 6th gear. And if the RPMs spike and climb real fast and the bike doesn't go any faster, you got a worn out clutch. So that's why we're doing this one today. So let's get back on it. We're going to be replacing these springs too, so we don't really need them, but we'll set them aside just so that they're in a nice spot. If you're going to redo this and you didn't buy springs, you can measure the springs. There is a specification, there is a minimal wear limit in the service manual, and you can inspect them at your desire. But for us today, since this bike is 20 years old, we're going to replace everything in the clutch. actually like to keep these kind of in order. Oh yeah, you can see the discoloration on that plate is really bad. So definitely in need of some replacement. And when I remove these, I remove them in order so that I can see exactly how they went in. That way there's no question when I'm actually putting everything back in. Yeah, man, upon inspection of these guys, we are definitely working with some burnt up clutch. Okay, so I have determined which plates are which by the manual and I have them laid out here so that I can start prepping my stack here. And one thing with these is, if you notice, this guy is soaked in oil. And so if you just put this in there dry, might get kind of a little bit weird. It's going to take some time for all the material to actually soak in some metal. So it's an okay idea to go ahead and pre-soak everything. So I'm going to pull them out of the bags. I'm going to throw some oil in this thing here, and I'm going to throw that whole stack in there and let them pre-soak. And that way, when I pull them out, each piece is going to be ready to go right into the bike soaked with oil. Easy peasy. Get them soaky. Get them soaky. So I'll give them about 5 or 10 minutes and then start popping them in the bike. And now I'm simply just going to start putting everything back in there. I do have everything laid out the way they were supposed to be, so I'll go ahead and get it on here. And that one goes on the opposite one. And back on we go. That guy. Now we'll get our brand new springs. Brand new. Toasted gaskets. I'm about an hour in, and I don't think I've ever seen a gasket this cooked onto a cover before. Almost done. So we got a good clean mating surface and all of that good stuff. And it looks like we're going on that way right there, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Just line it up on our dowels here. Then we can pop our cover back in. Probably want to move this out of the way a little bit. Where's that dowel? There's that dowel. Put her out of the way. And back on our dowel. There we go. torqued up, we can finish putting oil in this thing. I've already got 1 liter in it, so we should not need much more than this. Right here. So this bike was stolen and crashed, and with that it left it some other issues. It is throwing a code number 28, which is the SV or STV actuator malfunction, which is your butterflies. And as I verified, butterflies stay open, which is good. They don't cycle on this bike, so that's an issue. But it doesn't mean that it's not rideable. We put this nice aftermarket fuel cap on. So there's still some things going on with the bike, but as far as what we've done with the clutch, everything's good with the clutch. I'm gonna put the fairings back on, we'll take it out, and I've also done fork seals and brakes on this thing. So it should be nice, it should ride good, and it should stop a lot better. So we're gonna put it all back together and give it a shot, see what we think. Well, might as well try and ride it. I've adjusted the clutch lever a little bit. Let's put a little bit more. This is one clapped out bike. Front end already feels better. All right, so there you have it. That's it. Now you know how to do it. Enjoy. Have a great day. I'm gonna go inside. It's bright out here. It's bright out here. Woo! Till next time. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and all that fun stuff. And peace out. I'm gonna go inside and have some food now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's nice. It's finally nice in North Idaho. Let's go riding. Woo!